Yes, this is going to be a short one. I just want to leave you with this wisdom. And my question to you, how do you view nature? The human nature, nature in general. How do you view nature? And how is your view of nature serving your well-being? This is such a big one. And it's so important in manifestation. For example, if your view on the nature of love is such that love is painful, that the animal kingdom, the biology works in a certain way, then there is no, let's say you're monogamous, there is no monogamy in nature, there are all kinds of misconception, or not being or being gay is not natural, and all of those views upon nature are all views that you can find evidence for and you can find evidence against. Okay, so when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change, and there is nothing wrong with looking at nature, but is your view on nature serving you and your well-being the highest? For example, let's say you want to be vegan, okay, then you would find both people who say we're carnivores and people who look at the same teeth and say no, we're actually supposed to eat only plants and whatever. But let's say you decided to try veganism. Are you going to look at these things, at nature, or are you going to look at your experience and see if it works for you? Because nature changes and evolves. It doesn't mean we should not acknowledge what is, but what is mostly the perception of nature. For example, law of attraction. It talks about the nature of the universe. And we see a lot of renditions to the law of attraction. Not enough just to sit and visualize. You have to go out and do something. And you work out which version gives you the best results. And this is also the question of nature. It's also philosophy, but what is your perception of nature? If you have a good perception of nature, if you have a perception of nature that serves your well-being, and ask yourself, how is my perception of nature serves my well-being the highest? How am I looking at nature in a way that serves my well-being and highest good in the best way? That's clearing up the vessel through which energy flows, and the energy that flows within it. That's going to give you a clearer view on how do you open yourself up to live that life you're meant to live in connection with nature. If this was a premium content, content that tell you a lot about Germany and nature, and there is something you can do like a PhD on just the way German people viewed nature along the way and how it had affected their population and the state and the history. But just to leave you with that, how do you view nature? Is it something that does good to you? The nature of things. How do you view the nature of mankind? Is the nature of mankind good or evil? I can tell you my version, I can tell you my story. But the question is not if the nature of mankind is good or evil or neither or both. The question is this serving you? Is this serving you? Is acknowledging A serving you now? For example, in abusive relationships, sometimes you'd have to accept that right now it doesn't matter what happened to the person in the past. Maybe they were a victim, maybe they were abused, maybe they were all of the above, and underneath they are a great soul that is not in alignment just yet. You have to accept that the nature of this person right now is such and such, and you're not to change them. So the only person you can change is you. But if you think that the nature of you is such and such that you cannot change, that could be a problem. But also if you think that the nature of you is such and such that you can change, but there are certain things that you try to change that are not meant for you to change. then you go out of being you. So there is no clear answer on one particular view of nature. This leads me to the channeling of the Babylon tower. Different strokes for different folks. Every voice has their own point of view, and their own point of view is context related, and their own channeling that they get is context related. So make sure that your worldview, especially your view of nature, because nature is so strong. It is so strong. It's one of the strongest things. Religion is one thing that could make or break our lives. Religion can make a life beautiful. It can also, if practiced in a way that does not serve the person's well-being, ruin our lives. Nature is the second, because nature is science. Nature is what we know, what exists, what is reality, the nature of things. Okay, so if we have views, and I'm not here to tell you the right view for you, because I don't have it. For every context, for every phase in life, there is the view that serves you the best. But just ask to be in the view that serves you the best. Just ask to be in that view that serves you the best on nature, and of course in spirituality. This will clear up your life. This will make your manifestation flow. It will bring you closer to your life path. It will change what you think is possible and what you think is not possible. What is the nature of things. It will change how you see yourself. Do you look at yourself in a loving way? How do you need to look at your nature to look at yourself from a perspective of unconditional love? This is different strokes for different folks. Some person would say, okay, I need to know that I have this and that and that and that and that element, and so because I have this, then this is what I have, and now I love myself. This is called radical acceptance. But for another person would say, okay, if I give these tags to me, to my symptoms, to my this, to my that, I feel horrible. I feel like I'm not accepted. So I need not these tags. I need to accept myself outside of tags and diagnosis. And so for these two different individuals, the path for recovery, let's say, would be different. This is about healing. But it also plays out about anything that we do want to manifest. So ask to be in the right view of nature, and be in a way of connection with nature that serves your well-being. Not what the media says, not what your friend says, not what your priest says, not what I say, not what the entities you channel say. What it feels like when your body-mind is clear, when you're in your yes space, and do the yes meditation for that. Get in your yes space, get in your alignment, and the beliefs that serves you there are probably the ones that you go along with for as long as they're expanding your yes space. So have a great day. I'm off to work, and I'll see you in the next video.